It's a messy business, and yes, we're back on a CB. CBC2. Yes, C2, because it's a CB750C, and it's the second CB that I've done, Honda CB that I've done. Yeah, it's coming along nicely, aesthetically at least. Now we just got to get it running. Anyway, before we get on to that shit, let's look at this. Yes. Last episode, I talked about making a tray or something to fit in here for all this stuff to sit on once it's connected. That stuff. Yeah, so I'm recycling this bit of paper for the third time. Yeah. One bit of cardboard. Thin card used for diagrammatic purposes for the fastest bumper car in the world. If you're not watching that, I suggest you do. And then obviously for some random masking of some orange paint. Then for yes, for that, the speedo mount. And so this is like fourth time around, fourth life for this one single piece of cardboard. Anyway, I'm going to be trying to emulate that curve at the top end, and then we'll translate that onto a piece of metal, which will also be recycled, because what it's going to be is one of these random license plates that are kicking around. Yeah, because they're good. Good quality aluminium. Turns out I didn't need to make a template at all after all that, because a license plate is perfect. Obviously I need to leave that gap for the wiring to come through from the front and then sit in there, and I just had to shorten it a little bit. There we go, job done. So location wise, that's the only thing that we need to work out where we're going to put it. I might just bolt it on there. Something like that, perhaps. I'll just happen to have that little bracket that fits in there beautifully. Yeah, I think that might work. It'll work for now. So we got that all mounted up and kind of working. Yeah. Well, we got the light working anyway. I'm cheating. Oh, I like it. Shame it's not orange, but there you go. Blue will do. And it turns out our friends Thing 1 and Thing 2 are in fact spark units. Some archaic form of ECU, thanks to Honda. I know I should have done my research earlier, rather than looking like a complete ignoramus, but anyway, that's what those two little boys are. Significantly expensive to replace, so let's hope they work. And on that same vein, let's hope they're wired up correctly, because it doesn't look like it according to the wire diagram. But now that's what I call a bookmark. Yeah, heavy duty. Well, yes, minor distraction from electrics, thankfully. Handlebar grips, that took 2 seconds to put those on. Anyway, they look kind of cool. And what else? Oh yeah, headlamp. I've ordered a headlamp. And so I've been just investigating what I had sitting on the shelf in terms of handlebars, headlamp mounts. And I was hoping I could use these, but unfortunately they're a little bit too big. So they kind of flop around even on really tight. Yeah, because most of the bikes I've had before, I haven't used the original forks, or haven't had such slender forks. So then I tried these ones. They were kicking around. Yeah, they don't work either, as you can see. Yeah. So unfortunately I've had to resort to these, which actually came off the other Honda. And they're very nice. In fact, they're very like that, except they're chrome, which I don't know. It's not kind of gonna fit in with the rest of this bike. But that said, I don't want to paint them because they'll probably just chip up. So I guess I'll leave them chrome. Good news is they fit perfectly, so they will do the job. You may have noticed I've hung them from the top down, which is, I think, slightly unconventional. We like unconventional. Anyway, the reason being, we got that brake line, yeah, that comes down from there. So that's what we're avoiding neatly. So we just need the headlight to turn up now. Just connected up the main negative terminal and clad it and fed it behind that part of the frame there. So that's about as clean as it's going to get. Don't know what we did before we had tie wraps. What did we do? Well, I guess we had metal clips like that on the Kawasaki. That's the clutch cable there. And now we've got all the clobber on, I've set these inboard a little more. I don't know if I'll trim them or not at this point, but I'm just playing around with the settings, as it were. And I've shifted the switches inside of the actual levers on this side. Yeah, because they kind of works better. Plenty of lever, right? Anyway, time to fill it up with oil. Yes, with an orange funnel, obviously. Well, luckily I dipped it around the 3 litre mark out of here, and it seems to be more than full. So, good job I stopped when I did. We have a backbone, though we may need to do some neurosurgery. Well, yes, that was a little premature, wasn't it? Yes, because we forgot about the fuses and everything else that we got to sort out, because they're up here. And I don't think we want them up here. I think we want them down there, if we can. This is the what goes to the main fuse panel, which used to sit up here. And we're going to relocate that. So everything actually goes forward, bar these 2, which is interesting in itself. And the black is, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, 2 go into here, which basically go to the kill switch on the right hand handlebar. And 1 goes into this, which, I don't know where that goes yet. I haven't bothered to find out. 1 goes bloody nowhere. And the other 2 go down the main loom. So I'm thinking they have to be some kind of power source, probably. Let's trace those back. And as suspected, both of them start getting messy just around here, where everything starts getting messy. More unraveling, uncovering, and discovery to be done. So the black basically feeds pretty much the kill switch and the starter switch, while the green and white is a busy little chap and does the horns and turn signals up there and something else down here. I can't remember now. Oh yeah, the front stop switch. Yeah, there you go. Green and white. See? Yeah. So, having identified the horns, which are absent, no horns, I can trace those back and eliminate those at least. Right, so we found our wandering green and whites, and by following the diagram, the one that goes into the left handlebar switch, and I know, sorry, right, yes, right. And I know this because there's the start button. So that green and white ends up here. Yes. So that's the start stop switch. There it is. So that's the one we want. The other one goes to the other handlebar switch. Turns into something else, probably down here somewhere. And so, yeah, if you hadn't noticed, these are ridiculously long. So we're probably not even going to need this little connector here. We'll probably do our own connection. I can discount this boy here, which feeds into there. So I trace that back, snip it off, because that's for the indicators. We're not going to be using an indicator switch. We're not going to have indicators, probably, as per usual. If we do, we'll put them in some other way. But this is the important one. This is the stop light switch that comes off the front handlebars right about, where's the terminals? Somewhere there. Yes, there they are, tucked at the back, behind everything. Anyway, you get the general idea. They're at the back of that. Labelling the end that I'm just about to cut right at the front, actually. So where it actually goes to the fuse, right now, here, I'm going to cut it there and label it as such, because we don't know where it's going to end up, down here somewhere. Same deal with the black that went to the fuse, so that's labelled up. And then tracing those, hooked them over here. Very handy to have things to hook over. One goes to here, which we'll work out, which is, right handlebar again. So that's probably the kill switch. And the other one goes to the ignition itself. Just tracing that other black, which is supposed to split as per diagram. And there it is. There it splits into the starter switch and the kill switch. Which looks like that on the diagram. That's nice. Of course, the sharper-eyed among you may have noticed that I had attached this to the frame via the terminal that goes off to the starter motor. Yes, that would have lit the whole frame up like a Christmas tree. Yeah, no, that was just temporary. So I'm using a P-clip. Of course, they're all the wrong sizes. That one's too small and these ones are too big. But nothing an extra hole won't sort out. So that will fit nicely onto that little bracket that I put in there. Yeah, and then we'll tuck it behind the frame. Yes, something like that, I think. Well, the headlight turned up and I got all excited, except it's a little bit like sparkly, not kind of the right orange. But anyway, as per bloody usual, there's no way to fit it. I mean, there's no holes in it. How are you supposed to fit that to a bike? I mean, it's advertised as a bike headlight. Anyway, yeah, not happy. Got to go for something different. Either way, don't like it, not using it, it's going back. Time to find an alternative. Meanwhile, Mr. Less is more. More or less, yeah. Monkey agrees. What do you think? He likes it. So yes, more orange, more tango. And these are for these little drains that come out the bottom of the carbs, presumably to release any overflow if you flood them or whatever. Anyway, so they got to come back somewhere down here and drain out onto the back tyre. Yeah, good idea, everyone. Like so. And we'll just try and pull that through. There you go, something like that. Yeah. Try and keep it away from the chain as well. I think the idea is to kind of clamp them all up underneath once you've got them through. I hope I've got enough tubing here. Well, there's the two outer ones done. I haven't got enough to do both the inside ones. I might have just enough to do one, but it's actually quite a lot of pipage because it comes down here and then goes below the frame. So before I go any further, I think I'll investigate whether I can get some more of that or not. Well, orange fuel line came in, but of course it's different. It's translucent. It came with a filter as well. How about that? In keeping with our two-tone orange, I think we can get away with it. So the two outer ones are the original opaque orange, very bright orange, and yeah, 50 shades of orange. Okay. Ooh, and some red. And there we have them, all in place. Lovely. All coming down here. Nice and neatly out of the way. Job done. Well, I think that's quite enough wires and tubes for one episode, don't you? Only so much a man can take. So thanks for tuning in. As always, appreciate your support. If you haven't already, subscribe down here somewhere. And of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.